It's time for another episode of the Daily Blogcast for Internet Marketing, where every day we find all the best industry blog posts and turn them into something you can listen to, because you can't read. Now, here are your hosts, Mark and Brian.
Welcome to show number 70.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is today? Beer Friday.
Thought I was supposed to answer.
I was waiting for you.
I'm just going to go outside. You could do the whole show.
Okay. Yeah, so today, I'm going to open my beer. Oh, yeah. What do you say normally if you have them?
Drink them if you got them.
Drink them if you got them. That's right.
Take the day off, even if it's 9 a.m.
It's too early to be drinking beer.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I know. It's not at all.
We were up all night.
The party continues.
This is an after party.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I have a little bit of Google news. Again, nothing really going on in the search world. No spam bots being attacked. This is from ABC News. Let's see. Google Zepplin hangar needs Zepplin. And so I guess Google took over managing of Moffett Field's airfield.
Yep. That's in
Moffett Federal Airfield.
That's in Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
Santa Clara.
So they're about 4 miles away from it. But they said NASA and General Services Administration announced that Planetary Ventures, a Google subsidiary, has been selected as the preferred applicant to manage Moffett Federal Airfield and to rehabilitate the field's gigantic hangar, Hangar One.
Hangar?
Yep, hangar.
Hangar One.
Yeah. So they said what Planetary Ventures and Google intend to do with the vast structure, Google declines to say. What are they going to do now? Make Zeppelins?
I don't know. Launch. I don't know. That's some new way to monitor us, I'm sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if they made a gigantic Zeppelin.
They're probably going to take pictures.
Yeah, they could. Well, you know what they were talking about in
like
the
the
past.
Google Maps thing, right?
Well, no, in the past they were talking about, let's see, Google, they've dabbled with balloons, Project Loon, balloon-powered internet for everyone. And so I guess they're going to say that the idea was to bounce a signal between a network of high-flying balloons, thereby spreading internet connectivity to the 2/3 of the Earth's population that does not have it. And Bill Gates kind of commented on that.
What did he say?
But when you're dying of malaria, I suppose you'll look up and see that balloon, and I'm not sure how it'll help you. Oh,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's all, use your money to cure diseases like me.
Yeah. So, yeah, it says located 4 miles from Google's headquarters. It's big, 1,133 feet long, 308 feet wide, almost 200 feet tall. On his 8-acre floor, 6 football games could be played simultaneously.
Oh, this is the
that hangar.
The hangar, yeah, the hangar's crazy. I've been in there.
Yeah, I think I've been inside there before.
My mom used to work at Lockheed back in the day.
Oh yeah,
and they had there was some sort of event going on there.
Yeah, I think I've been there during an event.
And they had like
too.
a hot air balloon ride inside this thing. Like
yeah,
you could, yeah,
we probably went to the same thing.
We probably did.
That's funny. It's so big by some accounts that
that's what she said.
Clouds have formed inside.
Yeah.
And it has rained.
Yeah.
It looks awesome though. I mean, it goes so far back. I think it was around in the 30s.
Mythbusters did some stuff there before. I think they did
30s.
that one where you can fold paper.
Oh yeah. Like,
how many times or something. They did that one, and then they did another one. I think it was that rappelling one with the rocket thing or something. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it is a super awesome looking hangar, so that'll be nice.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid to see what Google's going to use it for.
This is from Viperchill.com.
Oh, yeah, I had a bunch of stuff from Viperchill, too. I wonder if
Too bad. This is time sensitive.
All right, so what is that one?
Time sensitive. How to reach 100 million unique visitors in just 6 months.
I haven't read it yet, so that's awesome. You'll be able to school me at the same time.
Yeah, because that never happens. You know everything.
Never.
He writes, it's so easy to think that all the best ideas have already been thought of, but then each year something else comes along and makes you go, hey, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Whether it's Pinterest, Snapchat, or even Flappy Bird, it's amazing that new ways to communicate and play are still being invented. One such example that I want to share with you today is simply about giving crack to Facebook users and becoming rich because of it. And he says,
First one's always
crack,
free.
Yeah, exactly. Crack's in the form of content that they just have to share with their friends on the world's most popular social network. What's more amazing is that your website can look terrible. You don't have to get any of your own images or write any of your own content, and you could be up and running with traffic in the next 12 hours.
Tell me how. I don't believe it.
He actually wrote in here, don't believe me? It's funny you said that.
That's funny.
Anyway, so he has more than one example, he said. So he writes, a few weeks ago, someone tweeted an article to me on Business Insider entitled, Why Viral Nova Might Sell. And I'm going to read that one later if we have time.
Okay.
He said it was founded in May 2013, and by December 2013, it hit over 100 million unique visitors for that month alone.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
That's totally
From May
insane.
to December, 100 million uniques.
It's not fair.
Here's the gist of what Viral Nova is doing. Get out your pen.
I'm writing, taking notes.
Okay. We should probably record this so people can listen to it.
Yep. Marketing for the daily blogcast. Good idea. Oh, I forgot to hit record.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
So here's the gist of what Viral Nova is doing. They have a very simple website design with a focus on sharing and clicking on more articles. Each article has a very enticing headline that makes you want to click through.
Yeah.
Articles are primarily targeted towards users of Facebook. The website has no original content and simply steals stories and links to the source, to the source at the end.
Well, that's kind of like, I mean, Dig or StumbleUpon or any of those places, right?
Kind of. But that's user posted stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So he says, here's an example of some of those headlines, and I'll read a couple of them. One of them says, these before and after photos of drug users are absolutely horrifying and gross. Another one is, no one wants this two-nosed dog, and I can't figure out why. He's the best. There's a picture of a dog that looks like he has two noses. Then there's one that says, there's a $3.25 million villa modeled after the Flintstones house. And yes, it's awesome. And there's like a picture of it. So the end result is content that Facebook users love to share in the tens of thousands every post.
Yeah.
And he said $400,000 in December alone and 200,000 new Facebook likes. In just a few weeks since I first heard about this website, they went from having 900,000 fans on Facebook to over 1.1 million.
Jeez.
The website founder, Scott DeLong, is just 31 years old and has had years of successful website flipping under his belt. In an interview with Business Insider, he stated he's easily making 6 figures per month.
Dang. Why don't we just copy him?
Well, that's what he's telling you to do.
Oh, okay.
Business Insider estimates that he made $400,000 in December alone.
We're going to be rich next month.
Yeah. As mentioned, every single article I've looked at on the website is simply taken from other sources, images included.
Wow.
And he talks a little bit about, that's why they have a DMCA link on the bottom. So he says,
what's the DMCA?
The Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Oh, okay.
Are you trying to quiz me, man? Because it took me a second to remember what it stood for.
I didn't even know what it meant.
I quit.
I was like, what's a DMCA?
You suck. Anyway, so he has like a link on there, you can remove this content.
Oh, okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anyway, he said it's not like Scott DeLong is alone in this idea to copy content from other websites, though. Sites like 9gag, iCan't Has Cheeseburger, and many others have been doing this for a really long time, which is kind of like what you said.
Yeah.
So then he says the interview that makes no sense. As I said earlier, I first heard about the site when it was up for sale. Anyone who has made hundreds of thousands of dollars in a short span of time and wants to sell their website either needs a quick influx of cash or doesn't think it's going to make money for much longer.
Gambling.
No, now it's important. I was like, no. Now it's important that we're not so quick to judge. I looked into the site owner's past, and he has a history of building and selling websites with some examples. And he says here, one of them is selling Godvine, a Christian video website, for $4.2 million.
Wow. So the dude that got the 100 million links, he's just turning around and flipping it?
I guess so. He's
wow.
31-year-old guy, and he's done a bunch of this stuff.
Oh.
So he said he's been buying and selling websites since 2000. He sold a traffic reselling business in 2006 for $120,000. He sold another in May 2008 for $175,000. He started a browser-based game in 2009 and still makes $500 a day in 2014.
Dang.
Without a doubt, he's one of the most successful individuals I've ever heard of when it comes to profiting online. That's exactly why I don't understand his comments on wanting to sell the website, because he doesn't want to handle staff in an office. And so he's got a couple of tweets in here that he pulled from the Business Insider article. And someone asked him about, are you too lazy to do this? And he said, well, if you consider 16 hours a day, every weekend, and nonstop problems to tackle all alone, lazy, then yes. And yeah, exactly. What a burn. So he said, I totally understand the argument of wanting to sell websites and choosing something new to focus on, but there's absolutely no reason I could think of that he needs to be working 16 hours per day, weekends included, to keep the site going. It's not like you're having to come up with original articles. Everything else was another person's original work.
Yeah.
And I could respond to this directly.
Yeah.
This is a lot of work, even reading this stuff, and we didn't write any of it.
No kidding.
So this guy's got to cull like hundreds of articles and write new headlines that are better to get them shared.
Yeah.
I could see why there's a lot of work involved.
Totally. And so
Viperchill smoking crack.
So is he rewriting each article?
No.
So he's
not
rewriting the article. So he's rewriting the headline.
I believe so, but they didn't say that in here. I think he is, though.
Okay. And then they'll click on that and then go to the website that shows all the articles up there in one place?
He has like a Facebook fan page.
Okay.
And he posts all this stuff there.
Yeah.
And then people will click through to his site.
Okay.
And they'll stay on his site and goof around more.
So the site has a list of all the different articles,
yeah,
probably
you can
by
go
category or whatever like that.
No, it's like a rolling blog. I went to it when I was researching this.
Yeah,
sounds important.
Yeah, if it's just a rolling blog, that's even better.
Yeah, and you just go back and you could paginate all the way through, all the way to when he started.
Wow.
So he's got 4 more examples here.
Dang,
Example
that's a good idea.
number 1 is Distractify. I did not visit that site, but he's got a picture of it here. Another one is Bored Panda.
Right.
Another one is Hello You. And the last one is Upworthy, which we talked about.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
They were the guys that were rewriting the headlines, and they would split test how the headlines worked. You know what I mean? The good ones versus the bad ones. They would try like 2 different headlines for each article to see which one got more clicks.
Yeah, I always check Upworthy too, just for news, but it's all video content. But it's still interesting. So
yeah.
I still go there.
Yeah. And then remember, we were also talking the other day about, I forgot what it is now, but it was just last week, I believe, about those guys that created that site kind of making fun of this stuff. Like the whole ridiculous headline thing that doesn't pay off.
Clickbait.
Yeah. So anyway, so he says, want in? 2 reasons you must act now. So before I get into ethics and legality of running a website like this, I must stress that if you're going to attempt to get in this niche, then you have to act fast. Here's the number 1 reason. It took Viral Nova just a month to reach millions of visitors. He said, here's reason number 2. Websites starting right now are still banking hard. So he said, obviously there's going to come a point when even hardcore Facebook users are overloaded with these similar types of pages to follow, and they'll stick to what they're reading already.
Yeah.
So he's saying that the time is ripe, you know, and he shows some cool graphs in here about their growth, and the charts look ridiculous. There's like a flat line, and all of a sudden this ridiculous spike in like clicks.
Yeah.
So he said, so you want to enter this niche? He said, should you enter this niche? Sorry. And he said, I did try this idea on a very small scale after reading the Business Insider article, and it worked surprisingly well. Although it worked, it's not really a business model I want to focus on. There's a lot of money to be made, but I also have too many projects on my plate to give it a serious shot. No doubt, the thing is going to keep earning you money. The thing that's going to keep earning you money is the continual posting of new clickbait articles on Facebook every single day.
Yeah.
And he said, it's not the most ethical way to make a living. After all, the content is unlikely to be yours, but it hasn't stopped hundreds of people who've built these types of websites already, and the thousands that are no doubt coming in the next few months. I can't really say too much about the audience because it's just not me. I really don't find myself clicking on these types of articles on Facebook, and neither do I.
Yeah.
I like reading the headlines, but I really don't care what the articles say. The headlines are amusing to me. He said, however, there's clearly a very, very large market of people who spend a lot of time on Facebook and just want something to read. And by these figures, using the phrase very, very large market is no doubt an understatement. So the final part of his article, which is really long and I'm skimming a lot of it, is how would I approach this? So he says, step 1 is pick a simple brand name. Doesn't have to be anything special, but keep in mind it should be used for your website and your Facebook page. Bored Panda is a name that's enough to get you in the top 1,000 of Alexa. So really don't stress on this part too much. It's more important that you actually get the site up and running as soon as possible, which is a good tip.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Do it now.
Get it up.
Don't wait. It'll be done.
Step number 2 is set up your site and your Facebook page. As far as your Facebook page goes, starting with the basics should be enough. That means making sure you have a cover photo, profile picture, and some updates that don't include links. Step 3 is follow the competition backwards. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, so the easiest option is to look for some of the most popular articles on sites that are already adopting this kind of strategy. So what I would do personally is head over to Viral Nova and use their pagination at the bottom of the page to go to the very first articles they wrote back in May. Chances are that the internet has forgotten about those stories, and it's your chance to revive them. That's a pretty funny idea.
Yeah.
Take time to note which articles receive the most shares and likes where applicable, so you're not wasting time copying stories that didn't get much social traffic. Step 4 is to set up a Facebook ad campaign. We need to start doing this too.
Yeah.
As I mentioned previously, I did try this strategy, so please listen to me when I say it's better to promote the page itself than it is your individual posts. I paid for ads towards a page in the form of page likes, which is fairly typical, but I also use the boost option where Facebook allows you to promote posts to people who like your page and their friends.
Yeah.
Since my page didn't have too many likes when I did this, it really didn't work out too well. What has been really interesting to me is that I stopped the campaign almost 2 weeks ago, and I'm still getting 2 to 5 likes every single day.
Huh.
We get 2 to 5 likes every single month.
Yeah.
He said, you're going to be fairly serious. You're going to have to be fairly serious about this, then expect your budget to be fairly large. The more money you put into this to get your brand started, the better. The lowest investment I would suggest anyone making is around $500. Step 5 is to track, test, and repeat. As with any internet marketing campaign, it's important that you're tracking what actually works and what doesn't. With enough articles, you're quickly going to see which ones people like to share and which ones don't get much social action. I would say the majority of your time should be spent on crafting titles and getting people to click through to your website. So I think he does do that thing. And the final thing he says is, then it's simply a matter of repeating what you've done already. I don't expect that you would have to keep buying ads on Facebook for very long. Once your initial budget is used up, you should have an audience which you're going to like and share your posts, meaning you'll reach their friends on Facebook for free, assuming your headlines are good enough.
Yeah.
So this was pretty eye-opening, and when we have time next time in the next show, I'll try to read the Business Insider article because it's kind of interesting. It goes in a little more depth.
Yeah.
He's really analyzing this, so it's kind of cool, but
yeah,
I don't know, it makes you wonder, right? Like, should you just throw up a site and start? I mean, that seems like too easy.
Yeah, definitely. But I didn't even think about that whole aspect of, your main marketing is just through Facebook.
Yeah.
And so by using funny photos and titles or funny videos,
crap people are going to click on while they're on Facebook all day and all night.
Totally.
That's kind of interesting, right? It's all that traffic is just sitting there.
Yep. I think it'd work out really well with dating. Yeah. Have a dating page, but you can't do dating offers anymore.
Well, what do you mean? Have a dating page?
I mean, like, do women prefer men with nice teeth or, stuff like that?
Yeah, but I think he's just making money off whatever. You know what I mean? Like, once you get the traffic, you can throw ads, you can throw anything.
Yeah, but I would still try to stick to a specific niche. I mean, I would. So I'd probably do it wrong.
I was going to say, I think you're doing it wrong. I think the whole point is like random crap people want to share.
Yeah.
Like you saw the examples, right? One was like photos of somebody on drugs. Another one was of a dog with 2 noses. And we looked at some of that other stuff too, those other headlines. It's just like quirky stuff people want to share.
But that's gonna work for him only in terms of getting traffic though. If you're trying to monetize, you're gonna want to have at least the bulk of the information around a central niche or something.
You could sell with this. You could sell
that much traffic. You could sell anything.
Yeah, ads, anything. You just throw ads on your site.
Oh man, how much would he make in ad displays alone? 100 million visits?
Well, he said $400,000 a month, and he's got AdSense on his site.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he's got a big banner at the top.
Yeah.
TransUnion. I'm looking at it right now. There's a TransUnion banner for a free credit score, and I don't know what this offer pays, but credit score offers are usually $29, $24.
Yeah, so it could totally pay.
19 at the low end.
No niche, just go for it.
No, because
clickable
you have
content.
Because you have random traffic. This is like, you're like fishing with hand grenades here. You know what I mean? Like you just throw random stuff out there and just see who clicks on it, and then you throw generic stuff in front of them.
Yeah,
and the volume.
I never click on stuff, and the ones that I I'm almost close to clicking on it. That's like an ad or a promoted or tweet. I mean, a promoted post or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, these guys must be making money because I almost clicked on it. So
This 84-year-old woman refused to sell her house to a mall. What happened next is so touching.
it should have been what happened next might scare you.
I've seen millions of images online, but never any like these. They'll blow your mind.
Oh my God.
That one sounds lame.
Yeah, that type of clickbait's only going to last for like the next 6 months.
I don't know,
get
man.
Started now.
I don't know. I think the general public is kind of just dumb and
that's
bored.
True. They're not on the internet as much as we are, so they're not as jaded.
Yeah, they're just kind of dumb and bored. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? We're like working and we're like, the last thing I want to do is click on all this dumb crap.
Yeah, that's true. All right. I have an article from Neil Patel, Quick Sprout, over at Quick Sprout. And it's a low-hanging fruit of content marketing, 10 quick changes that will bring big results. And he always writes these type of articles, but I always find, like the ones with the 10 quick changes or 10 things you should do. But I really like his idea because it's always a twist on something that everyone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a little bit different. And I think it's just a lot better because not everyone else is doing it. So I said, okay, so what's the key? A lot of little things. They aren't necessarily hard to implement. You just have to be willing to take some time and implement these simple tactics. Oh, yeah.
My beer has been getting warm.
I should have
I was
taken
doing all
a
that
drink
talking
while you're talking. I was
can't
listening.
believe this.
Like, because I was like, oh man, this awesome
You're going to make $400,000 a month, right?
Yeah. Next month, I'll be rich.
Honestly, I don't even want to do the rest of the show. I'm going to go start posting crap.
Yeah, me too.
All right, bye.
Let's go. Thanks for joining us. Okay, no. So I'm going to go through these 10 tactics. Tactic number 1, cross-promote your Twitter profiles. And in this one, this would only work if you have a team or if you have a group of people working on a central project or website. And what you could do is you could put other Twitter handles right into your profile. So, when you go into Twitter, you see like @DailyBlogcast.
Yep.
Then in the description below it, you could put other people's Twitter handles in there. And so you want to do that, hand it out to people within your organization, link to them, and then have your employees link back to you as well. And
the purpose of this is just to raise awareness of the other people they could follow, or what?
Exactly.
Okay.
So more than likely, occasionally I would probably say people are going to also sign up to them, start following their tweets. And so what he does is he links both his Crazy Egg and Kissmetrics Twitter profiles through my bio using the @ symbol. And then he links to his co-founder's Twitter profile as well. And what happens is, when you're doing a promotion, you might be promoting a specific page or a service or product, but have all of them promoted as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not with the exact same text or anything, but people will see that message numerous times now inside of their Twitter feed.
Right.
And so the likelihood of getting more traffic, then, you'll get more traffic.
Or they'll get sick of you.
Yeah, or they'll say, man, what is this stuff?
You're spamming me.
Stop spamming. Tactic number 2, use the following keywords in your headlines. We talked about these in the past. A headline could mean the difference between a few hundred and a few thousand visitors. Some of the more clickable words are how to, and then list related numbers, like the 10 quick changes. Third is free, then you, tips, blog post, why, best, tricks, and great. That list seems to change all the time. With every blog post that I read, it seems like half of the words are different.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of opinion. Tactic number 3, collect emails using Facebook Connect. And they said, so if you're looking to build your list at a faster pace, use Facebook Connect. It allows users who are logged into Facebook to subscribe to your blog with a click of a button. They won't have to enter in their names or even email addresses. And if you've done this before, you could use this for signing up to newsletters or even like blog comments and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So once they sign up through that, you instantly get their email address, and then you could market to them. It also integrates with places like MailChimp and Aweber and stuff.
We're not using that, are we?
No, we're not using any type of
Fail.
social login.
Fail.
I don't think so. I know. Dang it. The last A/B test that he ran using Facebook Connect for email opt-ins increased conversions by 24.1%. And so that was a pretty big increase there. Tactic number 4, ask a question at the end of your blog post. And I'm getting kind of sick of these myself, but he states if someone took the time to read your whole post, it means they're engaged. So when they read a question at the end of your post, chances are they're going to answer it by leaving a comment. And some of the results that he experienced with QuickSprout is that he received 18% more comments on average when he asked a question at the end of the blog post.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in technical terms, like how would you prevent getting penalized by the Panda update? Did I say that wrong again?
No.
Okay.
You could say penal if you want.
Okay. Penal. Is that better?
Sure. It's better for me. It makes me laugh.
Okay. So he said if it's more technical, he generates 11% fewer comments than when he uses a more generic question like, how else can you get more traffic? Things like that. But, you know, it's probably goes back to I read a lot of blog posts, and when I get down to the end of it and I see a question, I'm always like, really? I'm not going to answer this.
Me neither. And I feel the exact same way. And it's always like a half-assed question too.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think? Are there any other ways we can? And they they sum up what the topic was.
Totally.
Are there any other SEO tips you can share or something dumb? And
so I'm like,
that just seems forced.
Yeah, it seems forced. But
not to mention, you know, I never do that on my post because I pretty much whenever I cover something, it is thoroughly covered.
I am done.
There are no more questions to be answered. That's how thorough I am.
You should have no more questions.
Yeah. Right?
Totally.
I think everybody else is just doing really sloppy blog posts.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the beer talking today, but I'm just saying.
Tactic 5, make your content skimmable. And this is what he puts. Have you ever noticed that all my posts on QuickSprout contain subheadings?
Yeah.
I usually use a few within the body, and I use a headline conclusion at the end of every post. And I have noticed this because it makes his stuff really easy to read.
I do that too on my posts, and I will also say that I do it on every landing page that I make that's long form.
Yeah.
That is awesome because people can skip around to see what they're going to do because that's what I look for.
Yeah. It totally makes it easier for you to find the most important parts of the blog post and find what you're looking for.
And I've seen people do that to like break up the page, but it's totally useless. I've seen them like botch it where they'll write something like, but wait, it's like that does not tell me what's below this at all in this section. Idiots.
And he said that by doing that, it also increased his time on site for a blog post. So before he started doing that, people were staying on the website like 2 minutes, 41 seconds. And his average has gone up to 3 minutes, 26 seconds. So got him for almost an extra minute just because they're able to find the information that they want. It looks more thorough. They just don't leave after getting frustrated that they can't find what they're looking for. And then through testing, he also found that using subheadings impact average time on site more than content length did. When I increased my blog post from 1,000 words to over 1,500 or even 2,000, my average time on site didn't really go up, but having subheadings created more engagement and increased it. Tactic number 6, draw your blog images. And he said he was chatting with his designers the other day, and they told me that blog posts that contain custom drawn images got significantly more traffic. So that's pretty crazy. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I guess if you're using a lot of really boring images, you're maybe just purchasing them like stock photography and stuff, that, maybe it won't draw as much. But it said some people are claiming that they are able to generate double, if not triple, the amount of traffic by using custom drawn images. I haven't seen big lifts, but I have seen anywhere from 14 to 26% increase in traffic when I used custom images. So he says that's a good thing. And then you could go over to Fiverr and get custom images made for you. Tactic number 7, share your content more often. More often? Share your content more often. Share your content more often. And I found this was pretty interesting, and I've never done this before in the past. But instead of just tweeting out a message or a link to an article once, you could do it as many times as you feel like it. I mean, you don't want to go crazy and totally get people to stop following you. But let's see, who was it that they talked about this test? Thomas Tungs did an experiment on his blog, and what he did was he tweeted out the same piece of content, and on the second retweet, it got 75% of the retweets of the previous post. So if he
Wait, say that again?
So he tweets out a post.
Yeah.
And on the second time he retweeted it, did I say, okay, the first time he posts it, let's say he got 4.9 retweets or whatever.
Okay.
The second time he reposted it, he got 3.7, which is roughly 75%.
Wait, if it's the second time he reposted it, then he's already posted it twice.
Oh, God.
It's the second time he posted it.
Yeah.
Or he reposted it.
Yeah.
But the second time he reposted it, that was...
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And so...
Is it just me?
No, it's me. Okay, so the first time he gets like 4.9.
Okay.
Second time he gets 3.7.
Okay.
Then he goes for a third.
This is the same stuff.
Same stuff.
Wow.
He got 2.7 because you're never going to reach everyone on Twitter.
Right. You usually don't scroll back. Like if you didn't look at it for like a day or 2 days, usually you don't scroll back that far if you follow a lot of people.
So it'll drop off. You'll never see it. So I totally agree with doing that. I mean, you might drive a few people crazy, but screw it. He got 131% more retweets by doing that. And you could also schedule your tweets, and tweeting between tweeting at 8 a.m. or 5 p.m. is optimal, assuming you want the most visibility. Fridays are also popular days to retweet, but you could also sign up for those services to find out, when your actual audience is the most active. And I would have to say that that's probably the best time for you to tweet. Tactic number 8, don't ignore the numbers. And he says, although content marketing may not provide direct conversations, it does provide indirect conversions. The majority of Kissmetric leads come from content marketing. It ranges from month to month, but at least 50% come from our content marketing efforts. The one thing that you'll notice in content marketing is that you get more traffic. Whether it's organic, direct, social, or even email traffic, you're going to see more of it. But with limited time, which channel should you focus on improving? And so what you could do if you have Google Analytics set up and have the conversion set up for it as well, you could go into like Google Analytics, click on conversions, and check the multi-channel funnels. And then you'll see assisted conversions. And assuming that you have conversion tracking set up, you'll see an image that actually does the breakdown for you. So you could see which ones are actually driving the conversions, and you'll be able to know what to focus on. So if you're getting more sales through the emails or through social networks or direct or organic search, you'll know which, you should be focusing your efforts on. You can't focus on all of them at once. Mm-hmm. By looking at your assisted conversions, you could focus on creating content that will appeal to the channels that are causing conversions. And for example, if I wanted to appeal to social media channels, I would blog more about Twitter and Facebook marketing. But because I want to increase my overall organic traffic, I focus on creating timeless content, such as how-to articles that will be in the search for the long run. And then tactic number 9, he suggests using a content calendar, and you could get a plugin. There's a free one called Editorial Calendar plugin. So you could schedule your articles. It's originally for blog posting, but it's great for also putting in your articles and publishing them at a later date to avoid gaps or overlaps. And tactic number 10, just replicate what works. Are you struggling to find popular content ideas? Come up with a list of 5 of your competitors, take their URLs and plug them into the QuickSprout Analyzer tool. Once the report clicks, click on the social media analysis tab, and what the tool will show you is all the popular blog posts on your competitors' websites that they've created for social media. And then you could go through that list, find out which post people like the most, and just kind of rewrite it yourself. You don't want to copy it, but you definitely, if you rewrite it, most likely you're going to get a fair amount of shares and retweets.
So where do you find this at?
It's on a tool on his website.
I see.
It's called the Social Media Analysis. Not social media analysis. It's called QuickSprout Analyzer tool. And then you'd put the URLs of the companies in there and then analyze their the content that they've shared. And then you could generate your own version on your blog. This will help you create more content that gets more social traffic versus writing blog posts that don't get shared.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, Neil. I really like that article. And wow, that wraps it up. I could finally have a drink of my beer.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to another Beer Friday, episode 70. All of the blogs we talked about are going to be on the on the website, dailyblogcast.net. We started a new way to do summaries, so hopefully you guys will like it.
Oh, yeah. Check it out and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of our new summaries.
Yep. Episode 70. Thanks for listening. See you guys next week.
See ya. You've been listening to the Daily Blogcast for Internet Marketing.
Visit our site, dailyblogcast.net, where you can find show notes and links to all of the blogs mentioned in this episode.
While you're there, make sure to sign up to our free newsletter so you're notified of new episodes and get a bunch of goodies delivered directly to your inbox.
Don't forget, we need your support, so do us a favor and log into iTunes and leave a rating and a review. It only takes a minute and they'll really help us out. See you tomorrow.
See ya!